3 manager targets for Tottenham. Everyone, we're going to have a 10-second round of applause for the best goal scorer in English history. If you're watching this video on YouTube, just give us the applause emoji. The GOAT! Yes! So, this is my third choice. Sorry if it's raining. You can't really see I'm using a green screen, but it's pissing itself. Wait. Can you hear that? Probably not. But yeah. So, my third choice for Tottenham manager, Mauricio Pochettino. I think, for what he did for the club, for what he did to us as a team, he deserves another stint at the job. But, you know, Real Madrid are sniffing round him. He could go to anyone. But, for me, I love Poch. He's how I fell in love with Tottenham. The amazing football we played. The only thing that worries me, I've seen that people saying, is that he had Alderweireld, you know, Jan Vertonghen, Danny Rose, Carl Walker. That's when we were in our prime. But, when Pochettino came in, you know, Danny Rose wasn't a very good player. Carl Walker was good. But he had like Kyle Norton, Younes Kaboul, Etienne Capoue, Stambouli. He came in and transformed this team. Moussa Dembele was always a good player, but under Poch, he was just something else. The football we played really suited to midfielders. I honestly think if Pochettino was the manager we go for, Højbjerg can't be a Tottenham player because he does not fit that system. Bentancur, perfect. Sarr, perfect. Skippy, perfect. Bissouma, though. Bissouma would be the star, I think. One of those stars. He might be the Sissoko. And I do think he's a good option. But for me, he's not first choice. I think there's 2 other managers that are... I'd even take the Sporting boss over Pochettino. But obviously, if Pochettino was Tottenham boss, I'm not going to complain. Because I have such a special bit in my heart for him. Because he just made me fall in love with Tottenham. And yeah, I think, obviously, he worked on having no budgets as well, so I think that would be also quite critical. But yeah, Pochettino for me is number 3 on this list. Also, an honourable mention is the Sporting Lisbon boss. But he's not in my top 3. Sorry. Coming in at number 2, Thomas Frank. I just think it makes so much sense with Thomas Frank. I think he's got that expertise in, you know, Ivan Toney, Raya, Brentford... Come here, please. Tony's who I want to replace Harry Kane. If Harry Kane's leaving, Ivan Toney, I don't care if he gets banned. He could sleep with prostitutes and I wouldn't care. They probably all do. But yeah, Thomas Frank, I think, what I love about him is the football they play, that incredible unbeaten record that Brentford had. It was like 16, 17 games, humbling like Man United, battering them as well. And their results against the top 6 is utterly incredible this year. How he's taken Brentford to like a mediocre championship team to a top half-table Brentford in the Premier League, I think it's an astonishing achievement. Whereas they're not actually spending a lot of money either. They're picking up amazing signings, like when they got Eriksen for free. What a season he had. They kind of revived his career. That's not supposed to be a joke, by the way, before anyone says that's a bad one. I apologise. But I just think Thomas Frank, for me, would be a very good option. And the best thing about Thomas Frank is he works on spending like 50 million a transfer window. How perfect is that? How perfect is that for us? Levy, yeah, would rather probably buy me a deck chair than sign an actual half-decent player. So I just think they'd work well because they work on low budgets. Maybe we could even... And, you know, he knows the players he wants and he gets the best out of them. And I think that English side of him will just be perfect for our system because the football he plays is beautiful. And I just think if we give him the job... The thing is, the issue with Tottenham is the last 3 managerial appointments. Nuno is just an anomaly because it's like giving me the job, honestly. Because you've got someone with no experience who nearly got Wolves relegated and they didn't want to sack him, so they basically made him resign. He's basically got sacked by fucking Wolves. Wolverhampton fucking Wanderers. It sounds like a Harry Potter Griffin or something. Gryffindor! Yeah, I just think he'd be a really good option for us. But I do think there's a bigger fish out there. A bigger fish that I want to, you know... There's a bigger man I want. And you guys are going to agree. Julian Nagelsmann. Number 1, I want him because he shares the same name as my father, Julian. Julian Barton, Julian Nagelsmann. we actually wanted Julian Nagelsmann. And it says that, you know, he was very fond of Tottenham and was also very close to being our manager. He interests me a lot because the football he plays is astonishing. The way he develops players is very good. He does care about the youth. You saw Musiala kind of came out of nowhere and he just played him. And look, he's one of the best young talents in the world. The football is amazing. He's got a lot of passion. He's a very young, upcoming manager. And honestly, the way he got treated at Bayern Munich is disgusting. I understand they're not top of the league and it's like the biggest farmer league par France. But to kind of let it get leaked out, and I saw he found out he got sacked by social media. That there is just not the way to treat someone. If you're going to sack him, fair enough. But you do it face to face. You don't let him find out from the media because that's just kind of disgusting, isn't it? But, you know, I think he's a very, very good upcoming manager. I think he's perfect. We need, a project manager. We can't keep getting the managers like Antonio Conte, Jose Mourinho. They were only hired to get us top 4 and try and win us a trophy. They fucking failed miserably. But Jose, I think, is probably the most unlucky manager because I honestly think we could have won that League Cup if we had him in charge. But what do? Sack him. Because they wanted to save money. Twats, the lot of them. But I just think Julian Nagelsmann is a project manager. I think our rebuild is going to take probably maybe 3 to 5 years to be a consistent top 4 side, or even a consistent, team trying to get top 4, a team fighting on all fronts to win all the competitions. You need a big squad, and much bigger squad than now, because we've got a fair few injuries and we're fucked, basically. And if you take Harry Kane out of this team, we're Crystal Palace, and that's saying something. But I just really think he's a good project manager. It's going to be difficult times for Tottenham now, but I think we just got to stick by the club, stick by the manager, and we just got to build. And I just think Julian Nagelsmann is brilliant for a project manager, and who knows where we could be in five-ish years under a manager with a bright career, bright prospect, and just a bright plan. Obviously, look at Arsenal. They were so bad. We were finishing above them for year after year after year after year. And now they were like the banter club. And now they're fucking going to be winning the Premier League. And they deserve it, because I know the fan base didn't stick by Arteta, but the club did. And you got to rate them for it. And they deserve the league. The amount of hard efforts they put in. They literally focus on the league. And I think that's what Tottenham need to do. I think we should be... if we missed out on all of Europe next year, I wouldn't be that bothered. I think we could just focus on the league, focus on the cups, and that's the way to move forward. So for me, my top managerial target is Julian Nagelsmann. Guys, let me know who you want down below. Hope you have a good weekend, guys. And come on, you Spurs.